Now we're going to be proving triangle congruence using angle, side, angle. So first thing I want you to do is trace segment AB on a piece of paper. Next, you're going to place your paper over the angles below. Use the ends of the segment as the vertices for the angle. So this is going to be angle A or vertex A that you're going to match over here. And then this is going to be the angle for B. So this vertex you're going to match here. So instead of tracing, I'm just going to go ahead and copy this, move it over, and flip it around so my vertices match. So notice I flipped it around. So now my A matched the vertex A here. And we're going to do the same thing with this one on B. Next, you're going to extend the rays of the angles to close the triangle. So I flipped my angle B around to put the vertices together. A was already flipped. So now we're going to extend the rays to close the triangle. So if we were together, you would be able to compare your triangle to your neighbors to see if they are the same, and they should be. Would it have been possible to use the segment and angles given to create a different triangle? So if you look at this segment and these two angles, can we create a different triangle? And the answer is no, because this angle is going to be the same angle measure no matter what orientation your triangle is. And this angle for angle B, it's always going to be that same angle measurement. And this segment, it's always going to be the same length. So no matter what, if we use these three pieces, it's always going to create the same triangle. That's going to leave us to the angle, side, angle postulate, which states if two angles and their included side are congruent on two triangles, then the triangles are congruent. And what is meant by included, remember, is touching. So if you look up at the diagram here where you should have glued down your work, you have an angle, a side, and another angle, and this side is touching the two angles. So that's what's meant by included. Now let's practice triangle congruency statements with angle, side, angle. So notice we have angle here. So angle T and R are congruent, angle K and G are congruent, and then we have a side that's congruent. So if I name the first triangle as triangle TKN, that would be congruent to what triangle? If I start at T, which is the angle with the one arc mark, and go towards K, I have to start at that same one angle and go towards the angle that has the two arc marks. So that would be from R to G. So it would be triangle RGB. If you look at letter B, in the middle here, we can mark vertical angles. Now we have an angle, a side, and an angle, and then angle, side, angle. So we have triangle YFE is congruent to triangle VFC. In letter C, we can mark vertical angles again, and we can name the triangle on the left as triangle JMP. That would be congruent to what other triangle? It would be congruent to triangle GMZ. So I started at the angle with the one arc mark and went towards the center. So you do the same thing here. Start at the angle with the one arc mark, go towards the center, and then continue the pattern. Let's look at letter D. Notice we have parallel lines. So when we have parallel lines, we can mark alternate interior angles. So that would be this angle here and that angle there. And notice that we also have a shared side. So the reflexive property states that that side would be congruent. So now we have angle, side, angle, and then angle, side, angle. So to name these triangles, because these ones could be a little bit confusing, I'm going to start at the angle with 1 arc mark and go towards the one with 2. So that's going to start me off as triangle CNJ for this top one. How would you name the bottom one if I started from the angle with 1 arc mark to go towards the angle with the second or the 2 arc marks? How would you name this one? You should have had NCQ. So if we look at where the angles are, if I start at the angle with 1 arc mark and go towards the one with 2, that would have me go from N to C to Q. And again, all of these are congruent by the angle, side, angle, triangle, congruence postulate. Now let's practice the proof. We are given that angle M is congruent to angle P. So angle M is congruent to angle P. I'm not going to mark them with 90-degree angles because I'm not really sure if they're 90-degree angles. I just know that they're congruent and that segment LO bisects MP. So the segment LO is bisecting this segment here. So if LO is bisecting or cutting in half the segment MP, this means that segment MN is going to be congruent to segment PN. They are congruent by definition of segment bisector. Next, we have angle LNM. So LNM is that one in the middle. So it looks like we can create some vertical angles. So LNM is going to be congruent to angle ONP by vertical angles theorem. So it looks like we have an angle, a side, and then angle, side, angle. So we've proven that triangle NML is congruent to triangle NPO by angle, side, angle, triangle congruence postulate.